normally. My talk today is on the intelligence of spirit. Let's start with the divine spirit, God. Not the man on the throne sending out the judgment of orthodox religions, but pure spirit. It is said that we are made in his likeness. Not the physical likeness, but the spiritual likeness. And you've probably all heard this saying before about we are human having a spiritual experience. No, we are spirit having a human experience. And this is how spirit works. All week I've been thinking, I'm going to say that. I've probably heard it 1,000 times, but I'm going to say it anyway. And I thought, who wrote that? I actually didn't know. So I've not been well, so off to bed I go early. And I thought, I've got 2 books, I might get them out and have a read. I thought, young Bonnie might like to read one of these books. And there on the front page is that same. And it's written by Pierre Teilhard de Jardin. Now, that really is spirit in action. I had no idea who wrote those words, and being a minister of the church, I should have. But anyway, there you go. We all have a spark of divine spirit within us. And I would like to show you something today, to do something with you. So if I can just come around here and come back here, Sarah. I don't know if you do meditation, and it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. No, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Because this is a quiet thing. I'd like you to all close your eyes just for a moment. You don't have to if you don't want to, but close your eyes and feel yourself in your seat. Feel your body relax. This is not a full meditation, I might say, but just feel your body relax. Now imagine in front of you that there's a stand, and it's a clothes stand. Now imagine unzipping yourself, your human body. Unzip this human physical shell and place it on the hanger. Now you can reveal your true self, your soul, your spirit within. Look at this spirit within and see how beautiful it is. See the colours and feel the true inner self that you truly are. Look at your colours. See that beautiful ball of energy. And know that this is your true self. Now, see your human physical shell hanging on that hanger once again. Take it off the hanger and put your soul, your spirit, back within inside your physical shell and zip yourself up. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Now you've had a glimpse at your spirit, because today we're talking about spirit. And spirit isn't always on the other side. Spirit is within. The divine spark of God is within each and every one of us. And that you are all beautiful, divine spirit, having a human experience. When we choose to incarnate onto the earth plane, I believe our life is every minuscule second of it is planned. And nothing is by chance. A book, The Celestine Prophecy, which I must have read 30 years ago, was written by James Redfern, states this in quite eloquent terms: nothing is by chance. Another little book, and I rely on this book quite heavily because it really teaches us how not to judge. It's called The Little Soul and the Sun, and unfortunately I haven't brought the author's name with me. This book has been very special to me over the years, as it's a book for children that I believe every adult should read. It's about a little spirit in heaven, and this spirit is deciding he's going to incarnate onto the earth plane. So he has all the souls in heaven, all sitting around this little spirit who's coming down, and what is he going to experience? So each soul up there is going to play a part in his earthly incarnation. Now, one of his experiences is rather a drastic one, and it is he's going to lose his mother, and his mother is going to be murdered. But who will do this for me? What spirit in heaven would lower their vibration enough to help me learn this lesson on the earth plane? And the brightest, most beautiful spirit, right up the back, stood up and said, I will do this for you. And the little soul said, you would lower your vibration enough for me to experience this lesson. Yes, I would, said the brightest soul in heaven. Now, is that not a lesson in judgment? How not to judge other people? Because we all are spirit. When we incarnate, we have already conversed with the higher realms to decide what we should experience, who our soul group should be, parents and loved ones. My goodness, how many people have said, I would never have picked my parents. How many said, oh no, what do we do? Friends, every single person we come into contact with, even everyone here today, has come here for that same reason, to be in the presence of like-minded people. I also believe we choose a colour ray to come down on, but I will get to that later. Let us look at the divine plan of spirit, this huge jigsaw puzzle of life, the intelligence of spirit once again, remembering that you are spirit as well. If we start with Jesus, the most amazing healer, physical medium that has ever walked this earth plane, he has not been the only one. Mary Magdalene, Sababa, his amazing Vibhuti. It's all a mystery, isn't it? And there are many more. We've had Gandhi, for instance. In every generation there will be someone who will be a higher evolved spirit who's chosen to incarnate on the earth to teach us lessons. At the moment, there's a little girl in China. She must be 5 years old, 6, and stood in front of an auditorium of 2,000 people, and each one of those people had a rose, and that 5-year-old went like this, and every rose opened. That is the intelligence of spirit. If we just look at the many tools that spirit has given us to help us connect to our higher self and put us on the path of spiritualism, just think, our first breath. The very first breath we take. Of course, there's a bit of hoo-ha about that. It could be when the soul first enters the body, whatever. Astrology, numerology, palmistry, our life's plan, our map, laid out before us. All we have to do is take notice. Who here can remember their very first experience of the knowledge of spirit, about that there is more to life than just a birth of a physical death? Once I remember asking my mother, and I come from a war-torn home, I'm a baby boomer, so things weren't very pleasant at times in my home. So I asked Mum, did she believe in God? And my mum, who smoked, drank, gambled, and I was brought up in a sort of a rough upbringing. And she said, I don't know if I believe in God, but I do believe in a my first experience with spirit, I suppose, always looking for religion as a child, always, and never finding it at home. I was a young child searching myself. My brother passed away when I was 15, and back in those days, funerals were a really big thing, and he was only very young, so it was a very sad occasion. And his coffin was open, and I had to go and look at an open coffin, and I looked down and I freaked. I went to my sister and I said, "He's not there." She went, "Coffin? No, he's not. He's not there." His physical shell was in that coffin, but he was not there. And I never had spirit contact with him until I actually became a medium, believe it or not. All of these tools have been devised by living people, but where did the original spark or the idea come from? Spirit, the intelligence of spirit. The life's plan set out before us, before we incarnated. I mentioned before about the colour rays, and we incarnate on a specific colour vibration. There's lots of those. Our aura is a colour vibration, but the base colours remain the same. They don't change. Did you know that every living or having once lived thing has an aura? So if you take, say, a man-made chemical, say fragrant oil, and you put it beside a bottle of essential oil, this will get the young ones, I hope, to not use chemicals within their homes, around their babies and around their children. Kirlian photography has been proven to take photographs of our aura, our energy field. We are living energy. And if you take a Kirlian photography of fragrant oil, there is no aura. It is inert, dead, has never lived. It has no energy field, it has no aura. So why would you use it or burn it in your home? The fragrant oil is, as I said, dead. There is no divine spark within a fragrant oil. But there is, within each and every one of us, every tree, everything that has ever once lived. Now that is the intelligence of spirit. It says in the Bible that everything man needs to heal himself is in his own backyard. In this case, we are drawn to things like aromatherapy or soma, bark flower, bushflower remedies. All have come from living plants placed on this earth by a supreme intelligence, divine spirit, God. And then spirit incarnate has learned to use them to help heal. I once did a study of natural chemicals and essential oils, their colours, healing powers. And I looked at the chart and something amazing happened. It seemed that the colours and healing powers related to the chakras and also placed on the cross related to the physical body. So in other words, plants grown at 5,000 feet are fantastic for the head. And where does the head sit on the cross? The top of the cross. We have also been given many things by God, and one of them is crystals. I know a few of you here today are wearing them, and I'm actually wearing one myself today. Love is in the earth. Our healing comes from our own planet, from our own earth. Most people go to the doctor and say, "Fix me." But if they only realise that they only need to take that first step towards healing themselves before actual healing can take place. For those of us who place our hands in the hands of spirit, every moment of our lives is filled with pure love and therefore healing. All of us here today are here because we have a belief in spirit, whether it be guides, guardians, or just the belief that our loved ones on the other side are here for us, as they are. This room is quite busy, and it was busy before I even got here because I walked in the room and my head went poof, poof. We We are here to hopefully make the contact with the spirit world. There are so many healing modalities that have been given to us, but one I have found to be the greatest healing of all is spiritual healing. It comes from source, direct from spirit, free. All we have to do is trust and believe that spirit will help. We don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to acquire this knowledge. I have two stories relating to this, and one is we have a lady in our church who was a medium and a healer, and she had a young cousin who was passing into spirit. He needed a pair of lungs. He was going to die. So she doesn't know this yet, but she started an amazing thing, technology, text messages. So she texted me, and I text all my healers. She texted my friend Leslie. She texted all her healers, all the girls in our group, in our church. We all send healing. Now, did you know that there is an A and a B set of lungs? That you get an A grade set of lungs or a B grade set of lungs? Well, this young man was so close to death, he was only eligible for a B grade set of lungs. Anyway, all the prayers went out, and to this day that young man says, thank you for all the healing he received, for he is still alive today with his A grade set of lungs, not a B grade. The second story is about a dear friend of ours named Betty. She was 75 years of age, and Betty had cancer. And she walked through the door of my church and she grabbed my hand and she said, darling, do you have healing here? I said, yes. I said, I got one of the best up the back here because it was our open day. I said, come along and I'll introduce you. She said, because they've told me I'm terminal. She said, and the only man that knows when I'm going to go is the man upstairs, and it's tattooed on my forehead. She had the most incredible attitude towards healing. So Betty came to church, came to healing, and did everything. And every now and again she'd come to me and she'd go, 3 months past my use-by date. 6 months past my use-by date. 12 months past my use-by date. 2 years past my use-by date. So a belief in spirit and a belief in spiritual healing does things that normal doctors can't give you at times. So then we had Betty's funeral in our church, and this is quite funny. We have a hall like yours, so to actually hold a proper funeral in our premises was unusual. I did say to her husband, you have to ask permission to perform a funeral with a casket in a public hall. So that's what Betty wanted. We're having church. So her husband never came to church, her family never came to church, but the funeral was our funeral. So Betty came along. We even did a healing of the casket in church. It was amazing. And the funeral director was very serious, and here's me, I'm there with my shawl on and being very prim and proper. Can you do this? He says to me. I said, I think so. Anyway, he said, I hope you pick something very solemn for the casket to leave the premises. And I went, well, no. I said that by the family's approval, we will be playing Spirit in the Sky. So the casket went out, going up to the Spirit in the sky. And seriously, what better way to go out of the church? I'm sure that person is still in shock. Every time he sees me, he still scratches his head, I'm sure of it. Recently our church hosted the VSU Spiritualism course, and the most important pieces of knowledge that came out of this course was the importance of healing and how it contributes to our mediumship. It is our intention to use spirit to help others. It comes from the heart, and therefore it comes from love. And this I believe to be the greatest healer of all, love and belief in spirit. the intelligence of spirit. Physical mediumship, the power of spirit to answer intelligent questions, produce reports, move objects. We don't have to look overseas for physical mediums. We have them here. The other week, something amazing happened within my home. Now, my husband does not sit circle. Well, he does now, but he didn't at this time. And we were counting money, and it was very aware. We'd had to work out the money for the church, so there it was sitting on our kitchen bench. And my husband put all the notes together, and the $2 and the $1, and all there was a 50-cent piece, two 20-cent pieces, and a 5-cent piece. And he put them on the bench, and he came in and he said to me, started talking to me about the money, and yes, I would get it right this time, and blah, 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 and off we go, out to the kitchen. And I hear, oh no, oh God. I said, what's wrong? He said, you have to come see this. I said, what? He said, I know I did. We went out into our kitchen, just a normal everyday home, and there was our money. And he said, I stacked it. There's a 50-cent piece over there, a 20-cent piece over there, and the 25 cents was sitting on the top, was still sitting where he left it, but the 20 cents and the 50 cents had been moved. Now, to most people that doesn't mean anything. To Roy, it was like, oh my God, it's actually happened in my home. And then the next thing was the 25 cents significant to me. Many years ago, 25 cents, everywhere I went, there was 25 cents. So I went to my teacher and I said, what's with the 25 cents? I'm talking on the bookshelf, in the house, where I worked, on the street. 25 cents kept appearing everywhere. To this day, I keep 25 cents in my purse. So that was to say to me, we've been here. It was 25 cents. You are very fortunate in this church because you have very good mediums and physical mediums who run your church. And we don't need to look overseas for these spiritual and teachers. We have them here. I mean, we do bring them over, but we have our own. The Reverend Dominic Delistro, his physical mediumship was in our church on this BSU course. And another little story, my husband's a good antidote, I tell you. And he said to me, do I have to go in early and set up the fishing line? I said, I don't think so. No, you don't. So this is my disbeliever, was a disbelieving husband. And we sat down, and of course Dominic's little table went walking around the room, and Roy sat at it, and the leg went right under. Absolutely, totally under. He believes now. He said, because that should have broken. There's no way known that could have done what it did without breaking. So, in daylight, not in darkened rooms, in daylight, for everyday people to see, he says that in daylight the phenomena is lesser, but it is proven because it is proof of survival, proof of the intelligence of spirit. To end this talk, I would like to just add a small comment on the intelligence of spirit. I'm using my husband a lot today, I've got no idea why. But anyway, Spirit gives it to me and I write it down, there you go. We went camping, such a silly little thing. And you've got to realise that Spirit has a good sense of humour. They don't want us to be serious, because the more serious you are, you get nothing. The more fun you have, the more fun they have. And we had a caravan on the beach. And my caravan is lime green. Everything in my caravan is lime green, so that my family doesn't pinch my things and I get them back because they're lime green. I even get back stuff that isn't mine, it's lime green. And he said, we need a peg. This is just a simple peg. And it's in the caravan. And he said, we need a peg here. And I was like, yeah, we do. We need a peg there. It's to pin a plastic bag for rubbish up. So I go for a walk across to the ladies and I come back. And guess what's on the ground? A peg. Not just any peg, a lime green peg. This very same weekend, a few hours later, my family decide they're coming to visit the caravan down the beach and we're going to have a barbecue tea. And we're always going, we've only got a 2-burner barbecue. What are we going to do? We can't feed 10 people with a 2-burner barbecue. I said, oh, we'll just light the oven, you know, that sort of thing. And he starts talking to this lady out the front of the caravan and he says, oh, I've got people coming tonight. I don't know how I'm going to cook this barbecue. I've only got a little 2-burner barbecue. And she said, oh, John, bring the barbecue back, quick. In a bag, her husband was throwing out a barbecue in Schmidt condition, not a mark on it. They'd bought a new Weber and they were throwing the barbecue away. She said, see, John, I told you someone would want it. Roy needs it. The intelligence of spirit, the intelligence of the divine plan of our lives. Thank you for listening to me today.